What's going on, guys? Hanging out with Ruby, and tonight I want to bring to you a DIY aquarium lid alternative to using glass or acrylic. By the way, Ruby's over tonight and we are doing episode 4 of the podcast, Fish Aquarium Geeks, so check that out. It's tonight at 7, which is in about an hour. Right now I'm actually cutting lids for all of the fish tanks here in the entertainment center. I have a sheet of polycarbonate, so let's get to it. So if you're trying to do a DIY aquarium lid out of glass or acrylic, I have the alternative for you. It is polycarbonate, which is a form of acrylic. They use it on greenhouses. It's pretty cheap. A sheet of this is like 45, 50 bucks. So I don't know, Ruby, have you ever made any DIY lids and realized how annoying it is to make them?
No, because I use like shelving.
You use what? Shelving,
like, you know, that's on the snapping.
Oh, yeah. Like the closet stuff?
The closet shelving.
Are you at all worried about evaporation or don't you really care about that?
I don't care.
Yeah, I've used pretty much everything, man. I've tried to build wood tops. I've tried glass from the hardware store. It's like super annoying if you try to build your own lids / tops. It's a struggle. So anyways, you will thank me later. If you go to Menards, which is a home improvement store, I'm not sure if it's local to you, but you can get this stuff in different thicknesses. This is the thinnest thickness, and this is what it looks like. It's not super thick, but for small tanks like this, it works pretty perfect. But if you have bigger tanks with bigger openings on like 40-gallon breeders, you may want to get the thicker stuff. It's like 1/2 inch, and that stuff is way more expensive. I think this was like $47 a sheet, and the 1/2 inch stuff is like $150 a sheet. And a lot of people say you have to cut this with a table saw, but I'm going to debunk this today by cutting it with a razor blade. That's what a lot of people complain. This is a big setback with this stuff, is that you need a fancy saw to cut it. I'm gonna show you how to cut it ghetto with a razor knife and still have it turn out okay. So, what else was I gonna say? There's one more thing. Get it at Menards, 45 bucks, larger openings, and just essentially what you wanna do is cut holes for your heater cords. I'll show you all that, so let's get to it. All right, guys, these are the 3 tools that you're going to need. A straight edge, this is a 4-foot long one, a Sharpie marker, and a tape measure. Super basic stuff. And you might be wondering if I live in a trailer park due to the flooring. The answer is no. I'm redoing this flooring, so please don't judge me on that. What are you laughing at? All right, so essentially what you're gonna do, grab your trusty tape measure, and you're going to measure the exact opening of your tank. This isn't rocket science, guys. Literally the exact measurement, and go just a tiny bit under it, like a 1/16 of an inch or so for your cuts. So I figured out the dimensions of the tank openings, and now I'm gonna try to cut them out of the piece the best I can to get as many pieces as possible. There's really no right way to do it. Just cut your pieces out. I'm gonna lay it on the floor, and I'm gonna cut it with a razor blade to show you guys that this is not difficult at all. All right, so now we're gonna measure it with a tape measure and mark the straight lines as straight as possible with a straight edge. So here's my mark on the polycarbonate. You can see the line right here. And what you wanna do is cut the long cuts first, because it's gonna be a lot easier. Cut with the grain, because they have these vertical cells or parallel cells. What you wanna do is use a knife to cut in between those cells. Here, I'll show you in a minute. Also, it is very important that you have a brand new razor blade. Sorry, I can't speak. Focus. It's brand new. Not rocket science, guys. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut down the cells we're gonna cut down the middle of one of the cells, and then this part is more difficult. Essentially what you do is you score it and then you snap it. I'll walk you through it here, just watch me. All right, so here's the piece, and yes, you can walk on it. It's pretty strong, you're not gonna break it. What we're doing, just taking our time and cutting it with a brand new razor blade. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up your cut, pull it in half. See how it kind of like breaks? Because you only cut through one layer of it. Then what we're gonna do is run your knife, be very careful, and just simply run it in the rest of that seam there. This part's pretty easy. And I know a lot of people comment and say, oh, Chris, you make all this look so easy, but it's actually not this easy. This is actually pretty easy, guys. See that? And it just breaks. Okay, so there that is. And then this is the opening of my 20-gallon tall tank here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna score this line. It's all about kind of scoring and just getting through like surfaces. This cut's a lot harder because you're going against all the grains of it. All you're doing is scoring it and breaking it. Or did that make sense? Did I say the words right? Scoring it and breaking it. Yeah, I said that. Then run your blade under it. Here's your lid. And also this stuff comes with a protective layer on it. So you can peel that off and voila, you have a beautiful aquarium lid. And some people might be saying, well, Chris, if that stuff's $45 a sheet, that's pretty expensive, or $50 a sheet. You gotta ask yourself though, how much would you pay if you were to buy one glass lid for a 20-gallon tall? You might spend $20 to $40 depending on where you buy it. And this stuff actually has a higher PAR rating, which is the amount that it lets light through than glass does, which is crazy. They've done tests on it. Love this stuff. Let's throw it on a tank. All right, so here's my 20-gallon tall, and this is gonna be annoying to get in there while holding the stabilizer. Come on, Chris. See if I cut it right. Yes. See? Fits perfect. I love it. Fits perfect. All I have to do is cut a little hole in this corner for the airline. But guys, look at this lid. You cannot beat polycarbonate lids. Absolutely beautiful. And now I'm not going to fry my tank or fry my TV because everyone was saying, hey man, the evaporation is going to kill your TV. La-di-da-di, trolley. All right, so now I'm going to cut out a little niblet of the corner for the sponge filter. And literally that's all it's going to include is me holding it like this and cutting an angle at it. It's literally, I might want a little more aggressive than that. God, I can't speak tonight. That's funny because we're doing the podcast tonight. I'm glad I can't speak. That's all I literally did for the edge of the little airline tube. Can it get any easier than this, guys? I just cut all this with a razor blade. All the other videos on the interwebs tell you need a fancy table saw. And people always tell me, oh, I need this and that. I don't have a jigsaw. I can't cut it with a saw. Razor blade, guys, on the floor, So there you have it, guys. Your DIY aquarium glass lid, alternative to using glass or acrylic. Polycarbonate is really similar to acrylic, but it's just thin and it's celled together, if that makes any sense. I'll show you a closer look at this stuff. It just comes in like categories of cells or segments of cells, and it's just really thin acrylic essentially. And you can use specific glues on this stuff to make like cool hinges and everything, but I just keep it real basic. Here's the lid. Here's the corner that I just cut out for the airline. Literally, you can't beat it. And it's done. You could put a little 3M tape on here with a little handle, whatever you want. Some people do like little doors to feed the fish. I prefer to just lift up the entire thing because it's all one piece. It's simple, but maybe you have a larger tank and you want to do something else because it's a larger opening. Guys, we're doing the podcast tonight. All the lights are ready. Check it out. We're going to be going live in about a half hour. I'm kind of just knocking out this video because I happen to be cutting lids for those tanks. So let me know in the comment section what you think of the DIY aquarium lids, tops for alternative glass and acrylic usage.